Guys, I think it's happening. I think it's actually happening. I think we're finally getting a good Aliens game. I don't want to jump the gun too soon, but from what I've seen, I think we're getting a good Aliens game again. If you've kept up at all with the gaming industry in like the past 10 years, I'm sure you've all heard of the tale, the tragedy of Aliens Colonial Marines. So many Alien fans were pinning their hopes on that game. All of us were hoodwinked by the Pitchford, that snake oil salesman. Turns out his magic tricks and illusions are actually his games too. So after that debacle, I think all of us expected we're just never going to get a good Aliens game. Now the last good game from that franchise, I think, was, I believe it was 2009, the AVP game. That was a lot of fun. Like, I remember playing the demo, and then I think I got the full game, but just the demo alone was fun. You had, like, you could play as a Predator, a Colonial Marine, or an Alien. But anyway, let me get to the news from today. This completely blindsided me. I didn't know that there was any Alien games currently in development. But this news came out that this studio, which I think might be new, I haven't heard of it, it's called Cold Iron Studios, announced a new Aliens game called Aliens Fireteam. And from that title alone, I knew immediately, okay, it's probably a multiplayer-only game, but for something like Aliens, I think that's fine. And it looks like they've nailed the aesthetic. Like, the trailer is great. And I don't know where he saw it, but I was watching an Angry Joe video on it, and I think he said that the story of the game is set 20 years after Aliens, and it's set after Alien 3 as well. I love the first two movies. I mean, I think that's the what everyone says. Alien and Aliens are both excellent. Alien 3 has a few redeeming qualities, but overall, it's not good. Especially for how they treated Hicks and Newt. Like, don't even get me started with that. Spoilers, but I mean, it's been like over 20 years. And Alien 4, just hot garbage. I've only seen the first AVP, I haven't seen Requiem. Prometheus, I think I was kind of bamboozled by it. For a while I thought it was good, but then like you watch it again and think about it more, and it's not good on further rewatches. And I liked aspects of Covenant, but I think it was a huge missed opportunity. So Aliens is like the most beloved one, I think, and it lends itself so well to especially a survival game. So this is what it says about what this game is. There was a synopsis I saw on Google that just says, Aliens Fireteam is a cooperative third-person survival shooter, that sounds good, in which 3-player teams must fight swarms of the interstellar creatures to complete the mission and get out alive. The game is from Cold Iron Studios, the San Jose-based game studio developed in collaboration with Disney's 20th Century Games unit. That's bizarre to hear that. I keep forgetting that it sucks that Alien and Predator, both of those franchises, are now owned by Disney, and I hate it. Like, how are they going to continue to make like rated R entries in that series if it's owned by Disney? I'm not sure how they plan on it. Oh, actually, come to think of it, so Planet of the Apes, that's also technically a Disney franchise now. Man, I hate the fact that Disney owns all these huge IPs. It's just a monopoly at this point. Despite that, this, from what they've shown, looks great. So it's a 3-person. I don't understand this. There's been a trend of 3-person multiplayer games in the past few years, and I think it's very strange. Like, why not just make it even, just bump it up to 4? It's really weird. And as someone who's enjoyed like Left 4 Dead in the past and horde-based games like Horde Mode and Gears of War, if this is essentially Left 4 Dead but with aliens, sign me up. They've nailed all the designs. The sound design is great with like the beeping of the motion tracker. You got that iconic squeal of the pulse rifle. Some of the tech looks newer, I guess probably because it's 20 years later and it's not set on the Sulaco, so it's set on LV-426, so probably a different area of the planet. So I imagine it's probably going to be like maybe upwards of, hopefully, at least 10 multiplayer maps at launch, and they'll probably add more. Some of the areas in the game look identical to areas in Colonial Marines. Honestly, this developer looks like, it seems like they're like, okay, we've looked at Colonial Marines, let's see what they did wrong, and let's correct it. I hope they get the AI right, because the AI was one of the biggest problems in Colonial Marines. It was so bad. Now, unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be the ability to play as the alien. I would have liked that too. Maybe they'll expand upon the game if it does well enough. Like, I would love a mode where it's like 4v4. You got 4 Marines versus 4 aliens, and you can have the different variations of aliens. They did that in, I think, the AVP game, because there's several like different subspecies of the alien. You got like the queen. I don't know if you could play as the queen, but you got the like standard soldier, and then you got like that one that looks like a big dog. So there's different subspecies of the xenomorph. Apparently this studio's been trying to get this game done for a while, like on some, I think it was an Engadget article, It said that it's taken 6 years and 4 acquisitions, so the company's been bought several times. So I'm glad that it survived, though. Could have been canceled. I think there was a few other Alien games that were being worked on that were canceled in the past, but good thing that it's actually happening now. And who knows, if this does well enough, maybe this studio, because like I said, it's only multiplayer, maybe if it does well enough, they'll make an actual single-player game, too, in this universe. So everybody go out and buy it. I mean, don't pre-order. We learned our lesson after Cyberpunk, but I'm extremely interested in this game now. I like that it's third person. It's going to feel very Gears of War-y. I liked the first person in Colonial Marines, but like I said, that game is hot garbage. But let's take a look at what the website for the game shows at aliensfireteam.com. I mean, there's really not much on here except for the trailer and some really cool art. It says, set in the iconic Alien universe, Aliens Fireteam is a cooperative third-person survival shooter that drops your fireteam of hardened Marines into a desperate fight to contain the xenomorph threat. The ultimate hunt. Play a pivotal role in the epic events that occur, 23 years after the original Alien trilogy, as a Colonial Marine stationed aboard the USS Endeavour. So it's a different ship, not the Sulaco. It's the Endeavour, battling terrifying xenomorph threats. I don't know if this is supposed to be canon or not. I don't think it really matters. Oh, this is interesting. Survive the Hive. Face overwhelming odds against over 20 enemy types. That's cool. Including 11 different xenomorphs along the evolutionary scale from facehuggers to Praetorians, which each designed with their own intelligence to ambush, outsmart, and eviscerate vulnerable Marines. So it sounds like they're actually caring about the AI instead of what they did before in that last game. Customize your fire team. Choose from 5 unique classes: Gunner, Demolisher, Technician, Doc, and Recon. Yeah, sounds very Left 4 Dead-y. Each with their own special abilities and character perks. Utilize an extensive arsenal of 30-plus weapons and 70-plus mods/attachments in your effort to eradicate the alien threat. Oh, this sounds great. And there's some screenshots. Yeah, it's from Cold Iron and then 20th Century Studios. Coming this summer, which is surprising. We've not heard... This game got announced and the trailer dropped and a release date all on the same day. Oh, okay, so it is coming to last-gen and current-gen consoles and PC. So, yeah, sign me up. I'm stoked for this. The trailer shows, I think there's some androids, like some Weyland-Yutani androids in there. But I hope there's some more than one mode, like instead of just team deathmatch. If you do some kind of horde, they could have turrets you can set up, because weren't there turrets in the movie? Yeah, I think there was. It's been a while since I watched them. But you know what'd be cool is if they did have a mode where you play as the xenomorph. If one of your goals was you had to, like, take if you capture the Marine, you have to take him back to, like, the middle of the hive and cocoon him into the wall, like they did in the first movie. They did it in both movies, but you got to cocoon them into the wall and then have your other teammates have to get you free. That'd be cool. It's interesting that we're getting, like, this resurgence of these 80s icons and games. Like, we had the Friday the 13th game, which was like a 4v1 type thing. And all of them are kind of like 4v1, except for this one. This one's like a horde thing, horde shooter. And then we had Predator Hunting Grounds, I think last year or the year before. I didn't play it, but I wanted to. Where again, I think it's 3v1 with a Predator versus a bunch of Marines. And now this. Here's some more information on the studio. It says 6 years and 4 acquisitions later, Cold Iron Studios is ready to reveal exactly what kind of alien game it's been working on. Aliens Fireteam. It's a third-person squad-based survival shooter, and it's due to hit PC, yada yada yada. Think Left 4 Dead with the xenomorphs, and you're halfway there. Cold Iron is it's only a 40-person studio. Founded in 2015 by former Cryptic Studios developers, developers Matt Hyacinth and Craig Zinkiewicz. At Cryptic, Hyacinth and Zinkiewicz worked on MMORPGs including Star Trek Online and D&D Neverwinter. And at Cold Iron, they've been building a mysterious game in the Alien universe. Cold Iron was bought and sold 4 times, starting in 2018, and today it's independent and working with 20th Century Studios to self-publish Fireteam. That's cool. Man, they've been started in 2015, and it's just now coming out. I don't know about you, but I don't think I could work in game development, having to spend like over half a decade on like one project. I don't think I could do it. Fireteam is not an MMO, though it's fully online and has RPG elements in the form of character classes with upgradable skill trees and modifiable weapons. There are no loot boxes or microtransactions built into Fireteam. Yep, get that out of the way first. And it's not being billed as a living game. Though Cold Iron does have plans for post-launch DLC. Okay, that's good. Like, if it's good at launch, I'd be willing to pay for new modes and stuff. I think everyone would. Everyone would prefer that over loot boxes or microtransactions. Notably, Fireteam is also not a horror game. Yeah, I didn't play Alien Isolation. I heard it's kind of frustrating, but and that hews closer to the original game movie though. Notably, Fireteam is also. Now I said that. It's set in the alien universe, so of course it's filled with terrifying xenomorphs and sterile sci-fi environments, but it's team-based shooter first and foremost. Concerned more with action and tactics and creeping tension. This is in contrast to 2014's Isolation, arguably the most iconic Alien game to date. That was first person, blah blah blah. Sega Creative Assembly made it. Yeah, never played it. Fireteam's taking the opposite approach. So yeah, it's a PvE game, with 3 players. It sounds a lot of fun though. Wait a minute. It says players run these characters through 12 campaign. I don't think they're actually campaign missions. It's probably like it's like the way Black Ops 4 had their quote unquote campaign. It was pitiful. Or Rainbow Six Siege has their quote unquote campaign where it's literally just training missions for each character. So it's not really a campaign. They're gonna allow private games too. That's cool. Ooh, I'm looking at the comments. Some people are not happy about it being third person only. I don't really mind third person. It would be cool because it's supposed to be kind of a little bit of horror elements. First person option would be cool. Maybe they'll update it and add that. That'd be neat. I'm okay with it either way though. I have a little bone to pick with IGN's description of this trailer. On their description, it says, Aliens Fireteam is a new 3-player co-op PvE shooter set in Ridley Scott's Aliens universe. So that's a little not true. That's a little misleading. If it was like Alien Isolation or based off the first movie, then yes, you could say Ridley Scott's Alien with no S universe because he only made the first movie. James Cameron came in and made Aliens. I don't think Ridley Scott had any involvement in Aliens. Maybe he was a producer, I'm not sure. But calling it Ridley Scott's Aliens with an S universe is kind of weird. I mean, it's one of the best sequels ever made, and the fact that Ridley Scott, I think, was barely involved is kind of insane. So what do you guys think of this news about this new Alien game? It's crazy. We keep getting all these... I keep getting blindsided with all these game announcements this year that I wasn't expecting. Like, it started with... I think it was late last year with IO Interactive, the developers of Hitman, talking about making a Bond game, which sounds awesome. And then the next big thing that I wasn't expecting was Bethesda making the Indiana Jones game. And then now this. So, what do you guys think about this game coming out in the summer? You guys going to pick it up? Which Alien movie is your favorite? And also, out of the games that they've made, which are your favorites? Do you think it should be third person, or do you prefer first person? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.